Hey, what's up guys? So today we're back with the second episode of our Insula build in our Roman build series. So, I'm just going to basically get straight to it. So the first thing that we've got to do is we've got to go and do our apartments. So I'm not going to furnish these, but I'm going to show you basically the spatial layout of what you would be doing. So I'm going to place a pillar here of, it's also a brick wall. I'm going to place one of those, and I'm going to have to edit some of this floor, because if you have this, it's not going to quite work with the stairs, because the stairs are going to conflict with whatever. So I'm just going to try and figure out how to make this work. But basically what we're doing here is I'm going to try and put some stairs in. Now, if you're building it as a 3-story rather than, the 2-story that I'm doing here, and you want to use a bit more of the space, then maybe just use a ladder, to be honest. Is not, it would use up less space, but I'm going to put in the staircase. So you can do something sort of like this, where it goes around the corner, so it doesn't take up too much room, he says. And do something like this. And then what we can do is we can go around here and edit the ceiling. I'm going to try a couple of things here. I don't know if that looks the best, so maybe we can change it back to the spruce planks, bring it over a bit, make it a bit simpler. In fact, we can change that one as well, and then maybe this one as well. So I'm going to bring this so it's in line with the top of the stairs, and then the upside down spruce stairs there. So I don't know, it's sort of a thing where you can play with it yourself. I mean, if you're not a fan of like the spruce stairs, then yeah. There's this bit here as well, which is a bit annoying. I mean, I'm not too bothered by that, because you are just going up and down the stairs, you're going past the wall, yeah. But you could edit it, you could push the wall back, you could really do whatever you want with it. Now on the inside, I'm going to have to just place some mangrove trapdoors on the bottom of the bottom and top of the window. And we're going to do the same for the rest of it. So this is something that I just forgot to do in the last episode of this build. And there we go. We kind of have the right idea of what's going on here. I'm going to place a couple of spruce fences in the corner. I mean, you can do what you want with this. Again, I mean, really up to you. And I'm going to use those to hang things off of later in the video. Now, sort of thing, we're going to have a look at our shop as well. So, as I said in the last episode, I wanted to do the wine shop, so we're going to do that. But before that, we're going to do a couple more things. So we need to kind of finish off all of the stairs. So again, like we've done with the other apartment, I'm just going to fix all these stairs. Just put some new stairs in for all of them. But yeah, if you're building along with me, feel free to pause at any moment. But then also, if you're just watching for a bit of fun, for a bit of relaxation, then yeah, sit back and enjoy. So again, we're just doing the same thing here. And yeah, it's a pretty simple thing. I mean, it's a sort of thing that, like, once you kind of have a general idea of what you want to be doing with this, then you can really play with it however you want. I mean, I'm going to be doing basically the same layout every single apartment downstairs, and I will show an example at the end of the video of how you could like furnish this. I'm not going to furnish it in this video, because I'm going to let you guys get creative if you're building it with me and really kind of do what you want to do with it. But you can play around with different staircases, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but I think it works best in the corner. I mean, if someone has a better idea and thinks it works better somewhere else, then let me know, because I would be eager to try that as well. So this is going to be our last one. So this is going to be, I'm going to make this a slightly different one. So because obviously this is, I'm going to keep the stairs the same, but I want one of these apartments to be a nicer apartment, a more luxury apartment. So it's going to have an extra bit of room upstairs. Now, in the ones that I built before, I've done this with 4 apartments that are built over 2 floors. This one, I'm going to have 3 apartments built over 2 floors, and I'm going to have a corner shop. So I've got a little bit of extra room upstairs. So I don't know if I'll do it with this one. I might see if I'll do it with the one on the other side. as I just fill in a few more stairs. There we go. That's the right idea. And then I'm just going to do the similar sort of thing. I mean, this one is orientated in a different way for some reason. I don't know why I've done this, but just a bit of variety, I guess. Still looks quite nice. We can move the planks to there. And then I guess we can do that like that. Yeah, sort of works. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm going to make one of these like a luxury apartment. Have a bit more space upstairs, and then we're going to have a wine corner shop on the other side. And yeah, remember, you got to place your lanterns. I always forget to do this. I always forget to do this right until the end, and then I've got bats everywhere. So yeah, and this one's quite nice. It's got like a nice little entrance. So there we go, as it starts chucking it down with rain. What fun. Just going to fix that quickly. There we go. So yeah. Now, we're not going to, obviously, that one is the apartment upstairs that is not going to be used by the corner shop. So I think with this one, it's going to be this one, I think, where I can then knock out this wall, and I'm going to have some extra space. Now, it's a bit of a shame that it's not actually the one in the other corner. I mean, maybe you could edit it so the one on the other side, which has the nice entrance to it, is the nicer apartment. I don't know if you'd be able to do this, or maybe you could have the whole upstairs in the corner. Because it would be quite nice if that one could, but I don't know. I'm just going to leave it like this for now. And then, you know, if you want to try it the other way, then feel free. So we're going to have a bit of extra room for that apartment. Now, this bit outside. So this apartment here in the front, this has a nice garden to the back of it. Now I'm going to open up one of those panels and basically imagine it's a door, and place some, well, yeah, bamboo trapdoors. Now I'm going to take, like I've done with the other path next door for the other apartment, I'm going to be putting a little path out into the garden. And I'm, you know, really, whenever I do like bushes like this, or, you know, gardens, I honestly, I place random crap everywhere. Like, there's a method to the madness, but there is also not a method at all. It's like this here, I'm making a pond. I kind of just muck about with like how or what shape it's going to be. So that's too even. You know, that's too even as well. I don't know. Put that there. You know, that might work. You know. So you know, you kind of just place stuff randomly. You want to have some sort of order, but then like if it's not a public garden or like a estate, it's not going to have like really trimmed bushes. It's not going to have, you know, super arranged rows. If it's like a garden like this that's kind of is like chucked on the side of the street, then I don't know. I'm just going to place some random stuff everywhere. So you see across the road, I've done the same sort of thing here. Put a bunch of flowers. Put a bunch of taller bushes. Like I like to put a fence with birch leaves on top of it. It looks a bit like a cypress tree. So if you're doing like ancient Greek stuff or ancient Roman stuff, or even like Persian, Mesopotamian, basically anything that has like pine trees works quite well. And because it's a different colour, it differentiates it. So yeah. Then some azalea leaves. This sort of stuff, the lilacs are quite nice. And then I quite like to put the cornflowers. The cornflowers look a bit like flax. I don't know if you've seen like flax flowers, but they're kind of commonly farmed. And I imagine that large ferns are like palms or something. I don't know. I mean, I imagine it as something else. It doesn't matter what it is. That looks half decent. There you go. Nice little flowery garden that looks kind of messy, but is not that messy. Could do with a little lily pad here as well. You know what? I'm quite happy with that. That looks quite nice. Put some pots. Honestly, these decorated pots are like amazing. I like in every single one of the Roman builds I do, or any of the Greek stuff, or really anything, to be honest. Just put them everywhere. They're just so good for this stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing with the front of this. I think it's a bit of a shame that this isn't going to be the nicer unit, the nicer apartment, but it is what it is. I guess it could be a nice entrance to an underwhelming apartment. I guess, you know, you're going to go and buy the place or go to rent the place from whoever's the like landlord in this area. You're gonna, oh, this is super nice at the front. You're gonna enter and you're gonna be disappointed. Okay, so wine shop time. Now, this doesn't have to be a wine shop. You could make it a carpet shop, armor shop, anything you want really. I think because it's a Roman insula, or you know, it's in the city, it's appropriate probably for it to be a wine shop. They quite like their wine, and I'm imagining this area is going to have like vineyards and that sort of stuff. It's in the sort of area that would accommodate that agriculture. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to place like a bunch of you know, sort of, I don't know, I'm going to just place some stuff around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pots to think that they're like pots of wine. So I'm going to put some outside, like ready to be bought, something like that. And then I'm going to think, so this is something that's kind of interesting. You can take like anvils and then you can put barrels on top of them with then tripwire hooks. In fact, I think it'd be better the other way around. And you can imagine like the tripwire hooks are the taps to the barrels. I'm going to put some cauldrons underneath to think, okay, the wine is going to drain into that. Maybe a bit is spilled on the floor, so you get some like redstone dust. Cauldron for some extra bits. That's something like that. But then we do have a bunch of space up here. So what I might do is, you know what, we can place some dark oak. In fact, we're gonna have to delete that pot in the corner, I think. Yeah. You're gonna place some dark oak trapdoors, and basically what you can do is you can put a ladder to go up to here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have a ladder that's gonna go up here, and we can put some barrels up there, some extra storage. Maybe some pots. I don't know, it's going to have to be a really strong guy who's going to go up there and pull these down and, like, you know, let them down for another guy. But that's the benefit of the doubt of your imagination, I guess. There's something like that. I don't know. I mean, as well, what you could do is that you could have this as like, what you could do is you could place a full dark oak trapdoor floor as well. So if you wanted to have like a bedroom for your shopkeeper, then you could do that as well. I think it's kind of cool. You have this like shelf and whatever up here, put some pots, maybe put like, I don't know, put a flower in a pot or something. Bit of a strange choice for a wine shop, but you never know. In fact, I'm not going to do that. What I might do is, on the floor here, you can have it so you get some stripped mangrove logs, or even like you get the nether wart block, whatever that's called. It just looks like red wine's been spilled on the floor. And then what I can do is I can put something that looks a bit berry-like, something like this, that can be held outside in a crate, so it looks like they are red grapes. Yeah, that looks alright. Then just put like some trapdoors or something. That's quite cool. Yeah, I think that looks... Yeah, wow, I guess that works. But really, I mean, if then you're doing like an armor stand or something, if you're doing like an armor shop, you could then have like armor or iron ore or something like that that's just left out. I mean, probably not left out on the street because some guy's probably going to come and steal it, but you know, the wine berries is going to be harder to steal the whole crate of wine, so a bit easier. Put a wine shop there. Wine shop sign, sorry. Do a hanging sign. I always forget you can edit the other side. Local wine. There we go. We can put that. Now, if you want to copy your sign, I only knew this recently. If you like click your mouse wheel, and then you click on the what's it called, the sign, you can select the same sign that has the writing on it. It's really useful if you like draw things on signs. It's like so useful. It's gonna have to be a bit lighter in here. There we go. That will do. Okay. And there we go. There is our little wine shop. So basically, what I'm going to do now is, you know, we've not got. I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to leave the courtyard. It's the sort of thing where, if you just fill it up with like some bushes and water, looks quite good. But yeah, I'm going to show you some examples of how you can furnish this. So basically, I've tried to approach this in the most simple way possible. Now, other people are probably better at furnishing this thing than I am, to be honest. But I've given it a good go. So the basic idea is that I've got like, you know, kind of a little lounge here. There you go, you've got some bushes, your impluvium in the center to get the water in, and you just have some random stuff. You've just got some benches, furnaces, that sort of stuff. You get a nice view of the temple from there. And then as you go upstairs, you've got very, very simple. You've got a bed that's on top of some trapdoors. You've got some chests, ultra simple, ultra nice. You can, you know, look at the neighbours. Not the best idea, if you're the neighbours, of course. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to ignore that bit. This is perfect for the nosy people. But yeah, so it's really, really basic. You can obviously make this much more complicated and much nicer as well, to be honest. But it does the job. We've got our little wine shop. It's very, very simple on the corner. And then we've got our garden on this side, as we've seen before. Now you've got your nice entrance into your other apartment. Now I've basically done the same thing with this one. Very, very similar. Very, very similar upstairs. I just think it's a little bit simpler. Just bed, ceiling, carpet, screen. Again, you can look at the neighbours if you want to, say hello to, you know, your love interest across the street. And then I'm going to go around the other side. So I've got this nice back alley. Nice is a, you know, not a word typically used for a back alley, but anyway. And that's going to enter into the nicer apartment. So it's very similar, but then as you go and turn the corner, you can see it's bigger. He's got a statue there, that guy. Got a nice red bed. And they're reading History of Battles. Yeah, good fun. And this one has got a good view of the temples of the city, which is probably the best view, which is not of the neighbours. And at the moment you can see, I mean, they probably would have a view of the sea, all the countryside, perhaps of the suburbs once this is all built up. And there you go. So that's basically it. I hope this has given you some ideas as well for the interiors. And yeah, you can see you could probably put a whole nother story in here if you wanted to. If you were very, you know, stricken for space, should I say, or, you know, whatever, however you would say it. But yeah, you got plenty of space to put plenty of stuff in here. And yeah, so I really hope you guys have enjoyed that. The second episode of the Insula build. I hope you guys enjoy the Let's Builds and the commentary of the Let's Builds that sometimes can go off the rails a little bit, but yeah, hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you've got inspired. For those that have been following along with me, I hope it's been easy enough to follow along. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. And goodbye.